Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into a serious and often controversial topic, the death penalty in America. In this video, we'll be exploring the top 15 states where the death penalty remains most active in 2024. These states are known for their ongoing use of capital punishment, despite growing debates over its fairness, effectiveness, and morality. We'll be looking at the unique factors that drive the death penalty in these states, including their legal systems, historical contexts, and the challenges they face. Join us as we take a closer look at the current state of capital punishment in the United States. 15. Tennessee. Tennessee has seen an increase in executions in recent years, making it one of the most active death penalty states. The state's death penalty system has faced challenges related to execution methods, particularly with lethal injection and the use of the electric chair. Tennessee's legal system has been criticized for issues such as racial disparities, inadequate legal representation for death row inmates, and concerns over wrongful convictions. Despite these challenges, the state continues to support the use of capital punishment. 14. Arkansas. Arkansas has a troubled history with the death penalty, marked by a series of controversial executions in recent years. The state's decision to carry out multiple executions in a short period of time in 2017 drew national and international attention, highlighting issues with lethal injection protocols and the state's legal process. Arkansas continues to enforce the death penalty, with a significant number of inmates on death row. The state's death penalty system faces criticism for its handling of legal challenges and concerns over wrongful convictions. 13. North Carolina. North Carolina has a significant death row population, but has not carried out an execution since 2006 due to a de facto moratorium. The state continues to sentence individuals to death, and its death penalty system has been criticized for racial bias, particularly in cases involving African American defendants. Legal challenges related to lethal injection protocols and the fairness of trials have delayed executions in North Carolina. The state's death penalty system remains a contentious issue with ongoing debates over its future. 12. Virginia. Note: Virginia abolished the death penalty in 2021, but as of 2024, its history and previous use are noteworthy. Before its abolition, Virginia was one of the most active death penalty states, second only to Texas in the number of executions. The state had a long history of capital punishment, with a legal system that supported swift executions and limited appeals. Virginia's death penalty system faced criticism for its racial disparities and the speed at which executions were carried out, often leaving little time for thorough appeals. 11. South Carolina. South Carolina remains an active death penalty state, with a significant number of inmates on death row. The state has faced challenges related to the methods of execution, including controversies over the availability and use of lethal injection drugs. South Carolina's death penalty system has been criticized for issues such as racial bias and the quality of legal representation in capital cases. Despite these challenges, the state continues to enforce the death penalty as a key part of its criminal justice system. 10. Louisiana. Louisiana has a long history of using the death penalty, with a relatively high number of death sentences and executions compared to its population. The state's death penalty system has been criticized for its racial disparities, particularly in cases involving African American defendants. Louisiana's legal system has also faced challenges related to inadequate legal representation for death row inmates and concerns over wrongful convictions. Despite these issues, the state continues to support the use of capital punishment. 9. Ohio. Ohio has a large death row population and has been a key state in the national debate over the death penalty. The state's use of capital punishment has been marked by a series of controversial executions and legal challenges, particularly regarding lethal injection protocols. Ohio has seen a number of delays in executions due to these legal issues, but the state remains committed to enforcing the death penalty. The state's legal system is often criticized for its handling of death penalty cases, particularly concerning issues of fairness and due process. 8. Arizona. Arizona has a significant death row population and remains committed to using the death penalty. The state has faced numerous controversies over its execution methods, particularly involving lethal injections and the prolonged suffering of inmates during execution. Arizona's death penalty system has been challenged on grounds of fairness, with concerns over wrongful convictions and the quality of legal representation for death row inmates. Despite these issues, the state continues to enforce capital punishment. 7. Missouri. Missouri has a high rate of executions relative to its population size, making it one of the most active death penalty states. The state is known for its efficiency in carrying out death sentences, often executing inmates soon after their appeals are exhausted. Missouri's death penalty system has faced scrutiny over issues such as the use of unregulated drugs and lethal injections and concerns about the fairness of trials. The state continues to support the death penalty as a key part of its criminal justice system. 6. Oklahoma. Oklahoma is known for its aggressive use of the death penalty, with one of the highest execution rates in the nation. The state has a troubled history with botched executions and controversies over lethal injection protocols. Despite these issues, Oklahoma continues to sentence individuals to death and carry out executions regularly. The state's legal system faces ongoing criticism for its handling of death penalty cases, particularly regarding issues of innocence and fairness. 5. Alabama. Alabama has one of the highest per capita execution rates in the country. The state's death penalty system is characterized by a strong support for capital punishment, with frequent executions and new death sentences. Alabama is one of the few states that allow judges to override jury decisions on life sentences and impose the death penalty, a practice that has drawn significant criticism. Issues such as inadequate legal representation and racial disparities are common concerns in Alabama's death penalty cases. 4. Georgia. Georgia has a long history of capital punishment and remains active in its use of the death penalty. The state has a significant number of inmates on death row and continues to carry out executions regularly. Georgia's death penalty system has been the subject of numerous legal challenges, particularly around issues of racial bias and the use of lethal injection. The state's legal system is known for its tough stance on crime, contributing to the continued application of the death penalty. 3. California. California has the largest death row population in the United States, despite a moratorium on executions in place since 2019. The state continues to sentence individuals to death, though no executions have taken place since 2006. California's complex legal system, lengthy appeals process, and political debates over capital punishment have led to a significant backlog of death row cases. The state's death penalty system is often criticized for being costly and inefficient. 2. Florida. Florida ranks among the top states for death penalty usage, with a large death row population. The state is known for its rigorous enforcement of capital punishment, with frequent executions and new death sentences. Florida's death penalty system has faced scrutiny over issues like racial bias, lengthy delays, and controversies over the methods of execution. The state's legal system has seen numerous challenges, including the overturning of death sentences due to unconstitutional jury practices. 1. Texas. Texas leads the nation in both death sentences and executions. The state's approach to the death penalty is characterized by a strong emphasis on swift justice, with a high number of executions each year. Texas has a long history of capital punishment and maintains a robust legal framework that supports its continued use. The state's legal system is often criticized for issues such as racial disparities, inadequate defense resources, and a high number of wrongful convictions.